Imagine you're watching season 2 of the Poison or another shonen of this season, but you suddenly realize you remember what happened in season 1, where you're not alone. There's a scientific reason for this, and that is dopamine. Shonen animes are designed for teenagers aged 12 to 18. As the name shonen translates to teenage boys. Because they're aimed at teenagers, the content can't have too many words, as teenagers generally do not bother to read them. Kinda for normies, actually. In order to gain more readers and popularity, authors generally add other farming moments to their series, which gives readers a hit of dopamine. Again, since this is a manga aimed at teenagers, you can't really have a deep philosopher argument with a 12 years old. They won't understand it. Instead, you get flashy fights. A regular battle shonen story arc looks like a series of spikes because the fight releases a lot of dopamine. When they end, the rest of the anime gets boring. Therefore, we forget what happens in the slower segments, aka the areas with less dopamine. Even though those areas are exactly where the story twist and plot development happens. The main problem isn't the fights or the other farming themselves, but rather how much of them are crammed into the anime. Take JJK for example. In season 2, there was this episode where the white ugly thing was info dumping for like 10 minutes. It was so boring. And I'm a slice of life fan who reads visual novels, so I don't get bored that easily. The animation is great, amazing even, but man, when the fights end, it just goes back to being boring as hell. When an entire anime is just constant fighting, the actual reason why they are fighting gets forgotten, which is exactly what happens on JJK. You might say shonen mangas don't need a good story because they're aimed at children, and you might have a point. However, shonen mangas also have a lot of restrictions they must follow in order to be allowed to sell. They can have no real gore, but the show is highly sanitized, no nudity, but panty shots and suggestive contents are allowed. No politics, and generally nothing that would make parents forbid their children from buying weekly shonen jump magazines. You might ask why taboo contents should be even allowed in anime and manga. Well, essentially because they are fictional. Authors can use taboo content to tell stories that deeply resonate with people. The more restrictions there are, the less freedom an author has to create what they truly want. Therefore, traditional battle shonen anime can never be masterpieces. But wait, there are exceptions. Take Freedom for example. Freedom is technically a shonen series. It doesn't have gore, nudity, or any taboo content. It is still considered to be a masterpiece. How, you might ask? Because Freedom maintains a perfect balance between its story, its fight scenes, and its other farming moments. Not only does it have a great story with tear-jerky moments and strong emotions, but it also features incredible fight scenes. Sometimes it doesn't have any fight scenes, and it is still great. Oh, well, I guess it just comes to how much of a great author you are. At the end, you might think that all shonen anime and mangas are bad, and all seinen anime and mangas are good or something. That is not correct, actually. The only difference between a seinen and shonen is the magazine and demographic of the said magazine. If the magazine is for children, it will have mangas for children. If it's for adults, it will have manga for adults. And if it's for gooners, it will have goon manga. Simply seinen have more depth to them because the audience, which is adults, needs more depth and tell stories. You can make good shonen like JoJo, Frieren, Gintama, etc. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like the video and goodbye.